Most people underestimate the power of small improvements. They chase big wins, thinking life will bend in their favor. But success does not come from sudden leaps. It comes from persistence, focus, and discipline. From showing up when others quit, doing one more hour of work when everyone else sleeps. From pushing yourself one step further when everyone else stops. That is what separates the average from the exceptional. Improving by a tiny amount may feel invisible. One more push-up, one more page of reading, one extra hour of effort, one act of courage you weren't sure you had in you. Today, it barely matters. Tomorrow, it begins to add up. Week by week, month by month, year by year, those small choices accumulate until they create unstoppable momentum. The quiet, consistent effort you make now compounds into results that are impossible to ignore. So many people give up before the effort pays off. They get discouraged because success doesn't come instantly. They get frustrated when life seems unfair. They believe that if the effort isn't enormous, it's not worth it. But that's exactly where the winners separate from the rest. Those who embrace patience, who persist in silence, who keep moving forward when nobody is watching, they are the ones who transform themselves into something extraordinary. If you want to rise above, you must understand this. It is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing a little more consistently without compromise. It's about stacking good choices on top of each other, even when it hurts, even when it's inconvenient, even when it seems pointless. One day, all those small choices collide, and life as you know it changes forever. This journey is not easy. It demands self-discipline, mental toughness, and an unshakable belief in yourself. It demands that you reject excuses, that you reject comfort, that you reject the notion that the world owes you anything. Those who commit to daily improvement take control. They grow, they endure, they outwork, outthink, and outlast those who settle for average. And over time, their efforts become unstoppable. Ask yourself right now, are you willing to invest in yourself today? Are you willing to take the actions that most people won't? Because the truth is, consistent effort is all it takes. 1% more focus, one extra step, one more hour, one small choice you make when nobody is watching. And one day, all those choices turn into the life you've always dreamed of. You were not meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be exceptional, and the path begins with the choices you make right now.
Extraordinary people are not born extraordinary. They are forged in the quiet moments when nobody is watching. While the world chases instant results, they build habits that last a lifetime. They understand that greatness is not the outcome of one massive effort, but the accumulation of small, intentional actions taken every single day. Your day is your battlefield. Every choice matters. The decision to wake up early instead of hitting the snooze button. The decision to work on your goals instead of scrolling through distractions. The decision to push yourself when your body is tired and your mind is screaming to quit. These are the moments that define you. These are the moments that separate the exceptional from the average. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. The more you master your actions, the more control you have over your life. When you make the right choice consistently, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient, you are building strength that compounds faster than any shortcut could ever deliver. The person who acts when it is hard will always outpace the person who waits for comfort. Mental toughness is forged in routine. It is built on the repetition of effort when no one else notices. It is strengthened by the decisions you make when no one is holding you accountable. Every hour you spend mastering your craft, every day you commit to improvement, every time you choose action over procrastination, you are programming your mind to endure challenges that would break most people. That is the invisible edge that puts you ahead of the rest. Consistency is the secret weapon of those who rise above. Small improvements, day after day, accumulate like drops of water carving through stone. You may not see the results immediately. You may not feel the change at first, but every choice, every action, every moment of focus compounds, and eventually those drops of effort create a force powerful enough to move mountains. Your environment matters too. Surround yourself with people who raise the standard. Seek mentors, coaches, and friends who challenge you to do more. Distance yourself from negativity, from excuses, from those who normalize mediocrity. The people you spend the most time with will shape your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your results. Choose wisely. Another critical element is resilience. Life will test you. Every plan you make will encounter obstacles. Every goal will meet resistance. But how you respond to adversity defines your trajectory. Do you give up, blaming circumstances and luck, or do you adapt, adjust, and push forward? Resilience is not just enduring hardship, it is learning from it, using it, and turning it into fuel for your growth. Every challenge is an opportunity disguised as difficulty. Remember, greatness is invisible at first. Nobody applauds your early mornings. Nobody celebrates your discipline when the world sleeps. Nobody notices the quiet decisions that will eventually define your legacy. But it is precisely in these unseen moments that champions are made. The daily commitment, the effort repeated over time, the refusal to settle, that is what creates extraordinary outcomes. So here is the choice before you. Will you allow yourself to drift along with the crowd, waiting for luck and circumstance to hand you opportunity? Or will you take control of your day, your choices, your actions, and use them to shape your destiny? The path is simple, but it is not easy. It requires patience. It requires persistence. It requires a commitment to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when results are invisible. That is how the extraordinary are made. Every morning is a chance to improve. Every moment is a chance to take one step further than yesterday. Every decision to act instead of waiting is a decision to build momentum. And the person who commits to these choices consistently will inevitably surpass those who do not. They will rise above. They will succeed. They will leave behind a life of mediocrity, and they will achieve what most can only dream of. You don't need to make giant leaps to change your life. You need to make small, intentional improvements repeated without fail. And over time, those small improvements transform into results that are not just noticeable, but extraordinary. That is the power of disciplined action, of mental toughness, of steady, relentless progress.
The compounding effect, from small wins to massive success. At first, progress feels invisible. You show up, you put in the work, and the world stays silent. Nobody cheers, nobody notices. It feels like you're running in place, sweating, struggling, giving everything, yet standing still. And that's where most people stop. They mistake silence for failure. But silence is not failure. Silence is the preparation phase of transformation. Every meaningful success story starts with that invisible period, the phase where your effort is building foundations that no one can yet see. Like roots growing deep underground before a tree breaks through the soil, your consistency creates unseen strength. Every repetition, every disciplined act, every moment you resist giving up compounds quietly, turning into power, confidence, and skill that the world will one day witness. The compounding effect doesn't care about speed. It rewards consistency. It rewards patience. It rewards those who continue to show up long after the excitement has faded. Because the truth is, consistency beats intensity. Anyone can go hard for a week. Few can stay steady for a year. And those few, the ones who stay committed long after others quit, they are the ones who experience exponential growth. Think about it. A person who improves just 1% each day will be 37 times better by the end of the year. Not because of talent, not because of luck, but because of the compounding effort. Those small wins, stacked day after day, create unstoppable momentum. What starts as slow progress becomes a snowball of growth, massive, undeniable, and impossible to ignore. Every great achievement begins small. The athlete's world title started with the decision to train when no one was watching. The musician's masterpiece began with hours of imperfect practice. The entrepreneur's success began with small, unglamorous steps. Greatness is not built overnight. It is layered, brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision. And the moment you realize this truth, your frustration fades, because now you see the process for what it really is, not punishment, but preparation. Every setback is building endurance. Every repetition is building strength. Every day of effort is investing in a future you cannot yet see, but will one day be grateful for. The compounding effect also applies to your mindset. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, your mind grows stronger. Every time you focus on solutions instead of problems, your resilience sharpens. Every time you believe in your ability to grow instead of doubting yourself, you rewire your brain for progress. Your thoughts compound just as much as your actions, and that inner growth is what sustains outer success. There's something powerful about momentum. Once you build it, it starts working for you. Your habits carry you forward. Your mindset fuels your progress, and your results begin to attract more results. What once felt impossible becomes routine. What once felt out of reach becomes normal. This is how you turn effort into excellence, not through massive bursts of energy, but through consistent persistence. The compounding effect is also ruthless in reverse. Neglecting your goals, delaying your effort, choosing comfort, these too compound. A day of laziness turns into a week turns into a month becomes a year of excuses. That's the dangerous side of consistency. It works for you or against you. Every choice you make is either building your future or breaking it down. There is no neutral ground. So ask yourself, are your choices today compounding toward the life you want or the life you fear? Because the truth is, every action matters. Every small step, every decision, every moment of effort, it all adds up. The results may not be visible now, but they are coming. The seeds you plant today will one day become the forest you stand in tomorrow. Most people quit right before they break through. They give up during the silence, not realizing that success doesn't announce itself until it's too late to stop it. The results come suddenly, like a wave that's been building quietly beneath the surface. One day, people will look at you and call you an overnight success. But you'll know the truth. You'll know the nights you stayed awake grinding, the days you kept going through doubt and exhaustion. You'll know the roots you built in silence that now hold the weight of your success. That is the power of compounding. That is the invisible magic behind every person who refused to quit. It rewards those who believe in effort even when there's no applause, those who see value in small steps, those who trust that discipline, consistency, and patience will one day turn into mastery. And when that moment arrives, when all your small choices finally align and the world takes notice, it won't feel like luck. It will feel like justice, because you earned it, one quiet, disciplined day at a time.
The price of comfort. Why most people stop growing. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you softly, telling you to slow down, to take it easy, to rest for a while. It tells you that you've done enough, that you deserve a break, that the grind can wait until tomorrow. And the truth is, it sounds reasonable, because comfort always sounds reasonable. It never comes dressed as weakness. It disguises itself as self-care, as rest, as balance. But what it truly steals is progress. Comfort is the silent killer of growth. It doesn't destroy you suddenly, it erodes you slowly. One skipped day becomes two become a week becomes a habit, and before you realize it, the hunger you once had fades into the background. The fire that used to keep you awake at night becomes a quiet smoke.
Comfort convinces you that staying the same is safer than striving for more. But what it really gives you is a slow death, a life that never reaches its potential. The greatest trap in life isn't failure, it's comfort. Because failure at least moves you forward. It teaches, it builds, it reveals. Comfort does none of that. It keeps you still while time moves on without you. It replaces the pain of growth with the pain of regret. It's a soft prison, one with a nice bed, but bars you'll never see until it's too late. Growth only happens in discomfort. The body grows through resistance. The mind sharpens through challenge. The spirit strengthens through struggle. Every meaningful thing in life, strength, confidence, wisdom, is born from friction. You cannot evolve in comfort because comfort protects you from the very pressure that makes you better. The most dangerous thing about comfort is that it doesn't feel dangerous. It feels good. It feels safe. And that's why most people never escape it. They chase an easier path, thinking it will bring peace, but it only brings emptiness. True peace comes from progress, not rest, from knowing you're becoming something more, not settling for something less. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you trade your potential for momentary ease. You give up tomorrow for today. And while the world tells you that you're doing fine, deep down you know something is missing. That feeling, that quiet dissatisfaction, is your potential screaming from inside, begging you to move again. The reason few people ever achieve greatness isn't because they lack talent or intelligence. It's because they lack endurance. They can start, but they can't stay. They can push, but they can't persist. They give up when growth gets uncomfortable. They want transformation without tension, success without sacrifice. But those two things will never coexist. Every level of life demands a new version of you, and that version can only be forged through discomfort. You have to learn to make peace with pain, not chase it recklessly, but embrace it when it comes. Because pain means progress. Resistance means you're growing. Discomfort means you're doing something most won't. When you train your mind to see struggle not as suffering, but as sculpting, everything changes. You stop avoiding challenges and start chasing them. You stop fearing hard days and start welcoming them, because you realize those are the days that build you. People often say they want freedom, but real freedom doesn't come from ease. It comes from mastery. The more you discipline yourself, the freer you become. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want, it's having the power to control yourself no matter the circumstances. Comfort gives you momentary relief. Discipline gives you permanent strength. Every time you resist comfort, you build power. Every time you choose to do the thing you don't feel like doing, you reinforce the identity of a person who does not quit. That's where confidence is born, not from comfort, but from conquest. You start trusting yourself because you've proven again and again that you can keep going even when it's hard. So, when your mind tells you to slow down, to take it easy, to wait for motivation, pause and ask yourself this: am I resting because I need recovery or because I'm afraid of growth? One brings renewal, the other brings regret. And the difference between the two will define your future. The price of comfort is invisible until it's too late, until the opportunities pass, until your body slows, until you realize that safety costs you your edge. Comfort feels like peace, but it ends in regret. Discomfort feels like a struggle, but it ends in evolution. Choose wisely, because one path keeps you safe and the other sets you free.
So take a breath and remember your journey isn't over. Subscribe to Never Break Stories and keep growing with us.